Hi friends, welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. I'm Austin, and today's video is a Windenburg family home. This build was actually a lot of fun to do. I just kind of came up with it on a whim, but surprisingly it is actually one of the rare builds that I've done recently that has more than 2 bedrooms. This house actually has 3 bedrooms and also 3 bathrooms, and it is also kind of a weird house in that it is one of my few builds that is a 2-story house that has no bathroom on the first floor. You know, typically I try to put a bathroom on the first floor, but with this build it just didn't really fit into the space, so I ended up not adding one. But there are 3 bathrooms on the second floor, which should be fine for your Sims, especially if this house lives about 5 Sims, because one of the bedrooms has 2 single beds and the other 2 bedrooms have double beds. And yeah, so there should be plenty of space for your Sims to live comfortably. Just know that there are, instead of a bathroom on the first floor, there are 3 kind of seating / living / family areas. There's one with a TV, one not with a TV, well, 2 not with TVs, and then there's just one that's staring at a fireplace. I don't really know exactly what I was thinking when I added that one in, but it is what it is, and I am really happy with how this build turned out. It is a little bit weird in some spots, but working on this lot was a lot tougher than I remembered the first time I had built on this lot, which was a long time ago by now. But I actually built this on this lot, or actually maybe it was on the lot next door once before, and I don't like building on this lot because anytime you look at the other side of the lot, the wall that's behind it clips, and it really screws up with the camera, and you can kind of see that once or twice here in this build. And yeah, it's just one thing that I don't really like, but I really like how this lot looks. I think it has a very interesting look. It's unique, and I think it looks nice for screenshots, at least. Hopefully they look nice for screenshots, since typically, my exterior shots are probably what gets, the majority of the clicks on these videos. So, having ugly screenshots is never good if you want to get people to watch your videos, typically. But yeah, I've had some, thumbnails for videos in the past that just look downright ugly. One recommendation I have is probably don't take screenshots at night, because it's very difficult to see what the build looks like. And so oddly enough, some of my best performing videos on this channel have night screenshots as the thumbnail, but other videos that have a screenshot taken at night, are some of my worst performing videos. So you take that with a grain of salt. And it's just very difficult to see anything with nighttime screenshots. But I'm typically the kind of person that I finish a build and then I move a family in and I start taking pictures of the house, and then I don't even really think anything of it. It's not until I'm actually looking at the screenshots later that I'll realize if wallpaper is missing, or something like that is gone, which is embarrassing, because sometimes I'll have to sometimes I'll either go in and take new screenshots that are updated, or sometimes I will go into the lot and before I upload to the gallery, I'll fix everything, but I won't take new screenshots. So yeah, it's just stuff like that. Not exactly sure what got me to start talking about that, but that was a intriguing topic, I guess. Now, I used to take more screenshots of my builds and post them in the video, and that really kind of stretches the video length. And one thing I've thought about doing is instead maybe having 5 or 10 screenshots at the end of the videos, and then posting more on my Instagram or on Twitter. I know I've talked about that in the past, but now that I'm actually using Instagram and seeing how easy it is, I might do it more often, primarily on Instagram, and maybe link the posts to Twitter, and then so you can have the ability to check out what I've been doing in builds, and then on the other hand, the videos don't turn out being so long. So I think it's a win-win situation. It's just something I have to remember to do, because sometimes I'm lazy and I just decide not to do something like that, and then other times I'm just really forgetful and I forget to do it. But hopefully I remember, because I think it's an interesting idea. I really like using Instagram. If you want to follow me there, my Instagram ID or my Instagram handle is TheSimSanctuary. I believe it's just as you see it here on YouTube. The only social media where it's not the same, at least at the moment, is Twitter, because some person who I don't think has ever tweeted has that handle. TheSimSanctuary. So unfortunately, I can't get it there, but it is what it is. I am happy with my Twitter handle, and I probably shouldn't change it again. I've had many different Twitter handles over the years, and it just makes it more difficult when people want to contact you, because sometimes people don't even realize you've changed your Twitter handle, so they'll try to message you, or they'll try to tag you in something, and they're tagging somebody who may have taken your previous handle, or maybe they're tagging like a unused account or something like that. So so that's my thoughts on Twitter and Instagram. I don't use Facebook that often. I've never really used Facebook. It's just never really been for me. It's confusing, I guess. I don't know what's confusing about it. I just don't like using it, I guess. But and then what other social medias are there? Well, I've never really used Snapchat or TikTok, either for my channel or for just kind of personal, my personal life. I did have a Snapchat for a short amount of time, but it was just too confusing, and I don't know. It was just something that I didn't really like doing, so then I deleted it. But I have no problems with people that use all those social medias. It's just, I don't know. I never thought of myself as an old man in terms of social media and stuff. But as time has gone on, it's just gotten more difficult, and more and more difficult for me to use. So that has been a weird thing. Now, another weird thing was how long it took me to figure out exactly what wallpapers to use for this build. I am not sure why it was so difficult for me to figure that out, but I know I kind of just was talking over it, but it took me, I think, even longer than it looks like here to figure out the right wallpaper to use. I think I actually cut out a small portion where I was going through a few other wallpapers. I used those window coverings, and then just to add some, I guess parody, I had, I put one of those things on just the other side of the wall. Now I do realize as I'm talking, it's probably not synced up to the video, so I might just be rambling on about something you have no idea that's what's going on, but I try to get it to sync up right, but sometimes I have to cut things out, because sometimes I have to cough and clear my throat, and that then knocks the whole video off track. One day, in a particularly bad allergen day, I cleared my throat or coughed so many times that my voiceover and the video were 30 seconds off. And that was not fun, because then I tried to sync things up as best I could, but it just didn't work out. And I think I ended up having to re-record that voiceover on a less allergen day. So I've been really enjoying the red shelf. I hope it's kind of shown in my builds. I've been having a lot of fun with it. I don't go overboard here, I don't think, but in past builds I've used it a lot. The first build I used it on was for the Miss Griffey Shell Challenge. That was a fun build, and I had a lot of fun with it there, and I wasn't sure if I was going to use it too much in the future after that point, but to be honest, I probably can see myself using it for every build, but not going overboard on some builds. There is a build that I am working on right now that is not yet ready, but I have a feeling by the end of it, it's probably going to have a lot of clutter, just because it really lends itself to that. The color tones and everything in that build really feel like they could really use a lot of decorations and a lot of clutter items. So if that sounds interesting to you, then I definitely recommend, if you're not already subscribed, to at least click that box and stay tuned for future videos, because that one, something I'm really looking forward to. I'm hoping to have it up by Monday, as long as this video comes out on Friday. If not, then it should be the next video out, because I haven't worked on anything in between them. But if another video jumps into my head that is easier to do, then, maybe it will be, pushed back. But I've been really enjoying that build, so it should be done relatively soon. And it's kind of revisiting an old series I used to do. That's all I'll say. Which isn't really spoiling much, because I've literally done like 20 different series that I no longer do. There's like, the previously mentioned 50 States series. There's a ton of Let's Plays that I used to do. And I will say that it's not a Let's Play video. There's the apartment series I used to do. There are like a ton of different like build series that I used to do, and I had fun doing them all. It just, as you take a lot of time off, it gets harder and harder to keep up with those kind of series. So, the video that I'm doing, or that, I'm currently doing, is not an implication that I'm going to continue doing, videos in that series. It's just kind of a fun, sort of thing. Now, cluttering this shelf in the master bedroom was really difficult because, it was just kind of it was difficult to try to figure out exactly what I wanted on that shelf. I knew I wanted some plants and I wanted some, clutter items. I did not expect to go that heavy on using mail, but, it is what it is, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. And I've said it is what it is a ton. That is not something I ever say like in my day-to-day life, but for some reason, every time I hit record on these videos, I say it, and it's really weird. And I have no idea why, but I was about to say it just right then, so ignore me, I guess. So I really tried to put a lot of different artwork and plants in this build. I think in some of my recent builds, I haven't really been using as many plants or artworks and stuff like that as much as I've wanted to. It is kind of tough with this game and the lack of, I think, variety in the art department. Sometimes it can be really difficult. Like, I find myself using like the same 3 or 4 paintings in my builds just because there's not much to go on, and I know you can get other artwork either through the gallery or through many different means, but sometimes it can just be a hassle to do that, so it's easier just to plop down the same 3 artworks and call it a day. But I really like those lights, with all the pictures dangling from them. I imagine this house probably features at least parents, or a parent or 2 parents, a teen, and then 2 children, or maybe even a young adult and 2 teens, who knows. But I do pity the 2 siblings that have to share a bedroom, but I think the space of the room is nice, but it's just never fun having to share a space. At least it never has been for me. So this build is about done. I'm really happy with how this build turned out. It was not, it wasn't something I was planning. It just kind of popped in my head. I sat down, I loaded up The Sims, I started playing, and I'm just really happy with how it turned out. So screenshots should be appearing soon. I'm just getting the finishing touches here, and there aren't going to be a ton of screenshots for this build, I don't think. But if you are interested, I should be posting more screenshots, maybe different screenshots, on my Instagram, which you can check me out there. And so if you enjoyed this video, then please be sure to hit the like button. And if you are new to the channel and you want to see more videos like this, then please consider subscribing and clicking the bell. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.